Now we're alive.
Fantastic.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
I'd like to take a moment to share with everybody the importance of not being tardy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my fault.
8 minutes.
I know. That's that's twice as long as it took Justin Timberlake and Madonna to save the world a few years back with that song.
Okay, I'm on
They only
board.
had 4 minutes,
That's true.
and I took 8. But to be fair, oh my God,
Haha, I thought it was going to be my dog.
no, I wish. I can't lose.
Oh my
I can't
goodness.
win. Look it up. To be fair, though, as I was saying,
Yep.
there were 2 of them. So there's only one of me. So I guess by that schedule, I was on point.
Yeah. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. We're good in the hood.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that, kids.
Yes, it's okay. You really don't have to apologize to me.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Good. I know it probably doesn't sound any different, but we are broadcasting from a computer with a brand new hard drive.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got a new ticker.
So that went down apparently, literally the other day, huh?
Yeah, it was doing bad for a little while, and I ran a hardware diagnostic test on it, and it basically said, "Yeah, your hard drive is about to shit the bed." So I was proactive.
That's good. That is definitely good. I remember a few years ago I got one of those messages myself, and It came up when I booted up. It said actually smart failure.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Yep, a hard disk failure is imminent. Please back up immediately. And I let that go for a solid 4 to 6 months.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah, and because I was starting to think, I'm like, oh, it must be this configuration thing, and I didn't have a whole lot of money coming in at the time. And when you don't have a lot of money, even if a hard drive, I think back then was maybe $80 or $90.
Right.
The mental perception was that this disc would cost no less than $5,000.
It might as well have been, right?
It might as well have been, because
Right.
I was working at a factory with your brother, actually making children's educational furniture.
Right.
And I could barely afford to heat my apartment. In fact, I couldn't afford to heat my apartment. I had to use life hacks like leaving my oven door open.
Is that when you were in Troy?
Yeah.
All right. I remember that. That was my round 2 of drinking.
Yeah. So,
Also, the first time I ever watched Two Girls, One Cup was at that apartment.
Classics.
Yeah, good memories there.
So,
Hey, I just got your text.
son of a bitch. Yeah, so for everybody that was waiting patiently for the show to start, I actually texted John about 15 minutes ago on the dot.
Yeah.
To let him know that I was taking a bit longer to get home than I expected to. And apparently he now just got it. So if this was a hostage
Almost 30 minutes.
situation, yeah. Had this been a hostage negotiation situation, someone had texted, "Don't shoot."
Yeah, it would have been a little too late.
Yeah.
Been far too late. There's no criminal that'll wait a half hour for any kind of signal or direction.
No, and if you are on death row, make sure your family isn't using Sprint, because that 15 minutes could save a life.
Yeah, it certainly could. It might just be like New Hampshire Sprint too.
Minneapolis Sprint was the same way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I worked for that organization, and their service would occasionally just go down in the city of Minneapolis.
Right.
Yeah, so 500,000 people are suddenly unable to send text messages or look at Reddit, and you've got a problem.
Yeah, and of course, still paying their bills.
Of course,
because
it's
the money's certainly not going to stop.
Yeah, it's in their contract. You have to pay them each month, regardless of whether or not you have service.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I really feel like I've made some wrong choices in life. I should have these jobs.
Yeah, I should at least be able to write these contracts.
I know
For things that I want.
Think about it like if you could negotiate that into your terms of hire with a company. Be like, I'm going to take this job working as a entry-level programmer.
Right.
And you're going to pay me $74,000 a year, whether or not I show up or program anything.
Right.
You're agreeing for 2 years to pay me this amount of money.
Deal.
Yep, regardless of the work I do.
Yeah, I kind of want to have those contracts just for my friendships.
Ooh.
Like no money, but like if I annoy you or if I just go off the handle every once in a while, you still have to be my friend.
No money. I would put money into that. You just kidding me?
Oh, I see what you're saying. The other way around.
I am a firm believer of the friendship tax.
Yeah, I'm not a good businessman at all. I'm like, why would I pay to have your friend? Oh, I see the other way around. I get it.
Yeah, see?
But I actually wanted to get to something relatively soon that's untested. And I told you this early on in the week through text message that I have an idea for a character for the podcast.
Oh, yes.
And this comes from basically the Scott campaign to get Scott on the podcast.
Oh,
I'm officially calling it off.
what?
Well, it's just been too long. And
Yeah, I know that there's not much left for that horse that we've been beating for the past 2 months.
Correct. I mean, it's just this, how many guests am I supposed to that don't even know him? Would you sign this? Sure, why not? But I have an even better idea, Greg.
All right.
Computer Scott.
Oh my God. We're gonna make a new Scott.
Yeah, hold on. Computer Scott, do you have anything to say?
Hey dudes, what's up? I'm Computer Scott and this bitch. Fuck yes.
All right.
Oh, they couldn't have gone any better.
So we've just given up on your roommate. We replaced him. This is what the future is going to look like to everyone. By the way,
This is called desperation.
No, yeah,
This is true friendship, by the way.
that is true friendship.
Where no more pressure. Don't worry, I got it.
I like what you've done with the place. Please show me more. So Computer Scott, what got you to finally come on the show?
Oh shit! See, now I got to come up with something.
Computer Scott is failing the Turing
Well,
test.
I'm both people. Hold on. He's thinking. He's a.
He's a computer.
Well, he is a computer.
He has to think.
That's true. Okay, here he goes. Please go.
No.
Oh, Computer Scott.
Computer Scott.
Oh, computer. Here we
I
go.
just grew a set of balls.
What the fuck? Computer Scott, you have fucking horrible timing.
Computer Scott is like on the bleeding edge of human interaction here. He's really got it down.
Yeah, he'll get better. Don't worry.
I hope so.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
What? It's supposed to be fuck yeah. And why is Computer Scott black?
I don't know. you did that. That wasn't me.
Oh, I know. I didn't test it. I wanted to be just as surprised as everybody else.
So is Computer Scott gonna be in the club meeting with all the short ladies with his street credibility?
Oh fuck yeah.
Nice.
He knows what he's doing.
I like where we've gone here.
It could be horrible.
Yeah, no, I actually feel that we have really pulled out all of our utensils and are scraping the bottom of a very deep, deep barrel.
Yes, I think so too. But let's be honest, that's where all the flavor is.
That's true.
And mold.
10 years of fermented content at the bottom of the bucket.
I figured it was a last resort.
Oh my God. So suddenly that thing from your Facebook feed makes so much more sense to me.
What's that?
Where you've got the Working on the Best November Project podcast with a computer with your workstation there.
Yeah.
And I was counting the lines on it. I'm like, man, what's that extra track? That must be where Computer Scott fits in.
Oh no. No, that's coming from my iPhone.
Oh.
Oh wait, he's got something to say.
Eventually.
Computer Scott in the house, y'all.
All right then.
And at that point, I've just spoken more words to computer Scott than I've spoken to real Scott myself. So.
That's true. You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Just gotta do it. So, what did you and computer Scott do over the weekend?
Oh, nothing. I was like,
Nice.
this was literally, completely surprising to all of us. I had the idea of doing this, and then or do you mean real Scott?
I guess both of you.
Oh, okay. Well, me and real
Leading
Scott
up,
don't really do anything.
Recap me on the past week, because communications embargo.
Yeah, the embargo. Other than the Judica call,
No, well, yeah, that was.
we'll touch on that later.
Oh yeah.
Because I think everybody needs to understand how serious you are about the one true holiday.
Oh, I know it is the one true holiday, and yeah. But please fill us in on your weekend.
Yeah, it's been what since we had Thanksgiving, right? We haven't talked since then.
Pretty much, yeah, except for the one breach.
Okay. Yeah, I went to for Thanksgiving, I went to my father's new girlfriend's house and met her family.
There you go.
And it went well. I'm just, I'm a horribly uncomfortable person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's just sometimes that fucking bugs me. But they're good people.
Did you have fun with it? Because I think one of the things that I always thought was challenging was meeting the parents of the person I was dating. So now that we've spun this around and your father has to check his ladies with you, he now has that same anxiety where he's like, oh my God, I got to introduce the girl to kids. Ugh, I hope they like her.
Yeah, right. No, totally. Yeah, and I do like her. She's cool. Which is good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not an uncomfortable thing at all.
I would have just like totally sold it backwards. Just like been there with a shotgun and be like, so you want to date my father, huh?
Yeah, let's sit down for a while.
Hands where I can see them.
Yeah, let's sit down and see where this trigger finger goes. But I actually met her. I think it was the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I actually met her, and we talked for like a good hour and a half. And she's really cool, and she has a sense of humor that works well with me. Which basically, I'm a big fan of like busting balls. Like if you screw up a word in front of me, you're not going to hear the end of it for a little while. And luckily, she's the same kind of person.
Good.
Yeah. So like the things that could be construed by myself as like being quote unquote mean, she just thinks is funny.
Well, it's good.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be funny.
Well, and being mean is inherently funny. So either way.
Exactly. Thank you.
It's true.
That's why we're friends.
Nobody was like, oh man, that guy is so funny. He says the nicest things.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have seen.
He complimented my hair. It was hilarious.
Scott comes home, right? And he looks at him. He says, hey man, good job at work today. Here, have a beer on me. And I just started laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody laughs at nice people.
No. Well, I mean, they do, just not with nice people.
Oh, I get it.
Look at this sucker. No.
Son of a bitch. Look at that fucking nice guy. Fuck him.
So she passed the John Brown test. So she's clear to date your father?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And I mean, to be really honest, like as long as he's happy, she passes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like cocaine makes people happy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So
see that? You're enlightening. You're enlightening my point of view.
I know. Either that or just rolling that storm cloud in right over your
well, that's fine.
You're like, whoa, this just got a little too full house for me right here.
It was very Bob Saget-ish. Which is the second show of Bob Saget has come up on. I
know. So yeah, well, if in that scenario you were Bob Saget, I was like evil Uncle Jesse, all strung out on heroin in the basement.
Right. Now hold on. Someone has something to say.
Oh God.
Let's snort some coke up in the hizzy.
I love computers, Scott.
Okay. Let's snort some coke up in the hizzy. Okay.
It's not too bad, computer Scott. I know who to call next time I'm in the East Coast-ish area.
He just needs better timing.
He does. So does your father's girlfriend, does she know that you do this and we talk about her behind her back?
She knows I do that. She knows I do a podcast. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm like, I don't feel too bad about, talking behind back because it's the same things I said to her face.
No, that's the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
when you say something mean to somebody, I always like to make sure that they're either within earshot and know that you said it on purpose, or to say it when they're like right next to you.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean,
Like
that's what I like about her sense of humor, to be honest, is that she can take a joke.
There's a built-in advantage to that too, because you enter this gray territory where people don't know if you're busting their balls or if you're being honest.
Correct. Right.
So
especially like a new person,
Exactly. This is why working with me is the most horrible thing on earth. Because I deliver everything with the same tone of voice across the board, just to make people uncertain.
Much like Computer Scott.
Just much like Computer Scott with his cocaine addiction.
No, hold on.
I was trying to lead into
That's right,
it.
Adio.
What the fuck?
That's right, Adio.
Wow.
Such bad timing.
I know. Yeah, we gotta work on
enunciate
timing, Scott.
Computer Scott. I'm gonna switch the voice. There's more voices. Hold on.
Oh God. Make it a girl.
Okay. Hold on. That's even better.
It is.
Man, why didn't I think of that?
That's right, Daddy-O.
See, that's way better.
No, she's killing it.
Computer
Step aside,
Scott.
Ariana Grande. Computer Scott's got pipes of heaven.
That's right.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Boo 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 boo. But yeah,
So-
Thanksgiving was pretty good.
Okay. I was super disappointed with my Thanksgiving, to be
Aw.
perfectly honest. Yeah. So there's been some tumultuous stuff going on in the circle of where I am out here, between friends and girlfriends and their family and whatnot.
Oh boy.
Usually there's a certain set of people that I expect to see grouped together for the holidays.
Right.
And with everything going down in Ferguson, I
Ew.
took a large chunk of my time last week to study things like autopsy reports and grand jury findings in order to have the most ridiculous arguments possible for the Thanksgiving dinner table.
I can really respect that.
Yeah, well, I need things to do to keep me occupied, and they're usually not legitimate things or good uses of my time.
Okay. Fair enough.
So there's one person in particular that was really looking to just to fuck with them, because I don't, the whole situation out there, it's a mess. There's a lot of ways you can argue in one way. There's some people like, oh my God, they chased this guy down and gunned him down execution style. And there's the other side, it's like the evidence shows nothing that backs that up
Right.
forensically. Like
Mhm.
there's nothing on there. But regardless of which side of the story you choose to believe, when you have somebody that is very passionate about everything that comes up in the media, to where it just seems to consume them for that week of time,
Right.
I like to prepare myself to argue this person into idiocy
Perfect.
fun.
I like that.
for fun.
Right.
Yeah,
Like people who are glued to like Wolf Blitzer and that kind of thing.
right.
But yeah,
Right.
I totally get you. I'm totally on board for this.
No, and I get all ready here. I've got everything memorized. I was thinking of example one on the autopsy report shows that a bullet entered near the left eye socket and escaped through the back of the head, and based on when rigor set in and blah blah blah. Like I was ready to go.
Right. Right.
And they didn't show up.
Oh man.
So when you have like a dog
What a bummer.
that has a favorite toy, and when it's not looking, you throw it out. That's kind of what it was like. They're just like looking around.
You were just
for
going room to room
purpose.
sniffing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
that's pretty much how it went down. So
I'm sorry.
I was cheated out of the fight that I had promised myself on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, cheated out of the joy of just pushing human beings' buttons.
No, I get a conflict high. I love
Totally.
to fight with people for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's exhilarating, especially when you know you're gonna win.
Right, especially if you know your case is like airtight.
Yeah, no, everyone loves to win.
Yes, exactly. That's right. That's absolutely right. You do play the game sometimes to play the best you can, but
Right.
what's the point of that?
Right.
to
Because
win.
you know when you're really playing your best when other people stop beating you.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, where was the other one? People would always say when I was a kid, like, there is no I in team. And it's like, well, I would like to inform you there is, in fact, an I in the word win. So,
Correct.
so I'm putting that one out there for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't like, what if I just want to win by myself?
Yeah, there is no I in team. Oh, we can fix this. There is no I in team, but there is an I in winner.
Anybody who, yeah, if there's
Put
any,
that on a John Brown shirt.
yeah, you can email your shirt ideas at john@thejohnbrownshow.com if you'd like.
Oh, I got an email, by the way.
What? Did you really?
Yeah. Wait, nope. That was a notification that I have no mail in my inbox.
Ooh,
That shouldn't be at the top line like that.
ooh.
Oh.
I gotta make a computer, Scott, at thejohnbrownshow.com.
Dear computer Scott, are you taken?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, you know.
It's okay. It's okay. So I'm assuming nobody wrote to you either.
No, nobody wrote to me.
So we've cleared away our past two
Fuck
guests.
no.
Okay, computer Scott. What's with the language, computer Scott? You're so fucking dirty.
So dirty.
Working blue, computer Scott.
So we've effectively chased away everybody's attempted to contribute to the show so far. So either the first guy, I think the advice we gave him probably got him shot.
Maybe.
Because we told him to take his concerns to his wife.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably dead.
Yeah, or divorced and just broke.
Second guy's on the run.
Right.
Thinking that the second guy is right now just like in this world of hurt, thinking that he's ruined everything he's touched in life. Because
Well,
we give terrible advice.
probably, but
If you want advice, email.
exactly. John@thejohnbrownshow.com or Greg@thejohnbrownshow.com.
Fantastic.
Ooh, plug.
I like it.
But yeah, if you're going to get advice from me, just know that I'm going to give you the advice that I would probably go with, which, not really sure if that'd be the best idea, but it is
Yeah.
what I would do.
Yeah, which is, I mean, if you want to really get closer to John without using Match.com or Tinder,
Correct.
that's probably the best way to do it.
It really is the best way to do it. My dad calls me on the phone. He'll call me and I always miss the call because I usually, to be honest with you, if I'm home, I usually don't have my phone on me. And there's a lot of times during the day where I don't have my ringer on at all. So I'll miss most calls and I'll just get messages saying like, don't you ever answer the fucking phone? Call me back. So I call him back and I'm like, no, I don't. So what did you want?
Yeah, my parents and I don't communicate super frequently, but there seems to be this breakdown in understanding how time zones work.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I hear you because there's a breakdown with me and my dad sometimes about what shifts mean. And he's on second shift and I'm on first.
All right, so he gets up.
Yeah, I'll wake up to a phone call from 11:30 at night. And I'm like, don't you understand? I'm asleep. I have to get up at 4:30.
Yeah, in 5 hours, I'm supposed to start my day.
Yeah, my ringer goes the fuck off, at night.
Oh, no, I set that on my phone, too. I kill it. It doesn't ring past 11.
Exactly. Just off. So he's like, dude, you didn't call me back. I'm like, yeah, because I was 3 hours into sleep.
So with the whole ringer off at night,
Right.
some people have told me, what happens if someone dies? It's like, don't you want to get that phone call? I'm like, wouldn't you want me to be well rested when I get that news?
That's one. Yes,
See?
one. Yeah, one point is like someone has to take care of the horse shit that goes into, someone dying.
Mm-hmm.
And they might as well be a person who has slept, within the last 26 hours.
Right.
And also the fact is if I get that phone call that somebody died, it won't bring them back to life.
That's true.
Like, not to be an ass, but it sucks when people die, but they're just as dead the next morning.
Right. I mean, it's a terrible way to start a day.
It certainly is bad, but it's an even worse way to get woken up to, at 12:30.
I agree.
You might as well just start the day a little, later. Just as bad.
So, I don't know, guys. That's so weird. I don't know, guys.
Write that down, guys. Turn off your ringer even if someone dies. That's the fucking goal of this conversation now.
Oh shit.
But I was gonna bring something up, but my brain is so full. For some reason, I don't know. For some reason, I've been like on a music writing and playing like bender.
Okay.
And I don't know why. It just sometimes it just happens, like where, like right now I literally have a headache because I have been thinking about music and playing music like pretty much constantly for like the last, I would say, 4 days. Like to where I don't really want to do anything else.
Pretty busy.
Very busy.
Okay.
And like I think it came from a friend of mine who was actually on the podcast, Jess Rushlow. And she just asked me like a really simple question. She's like, why don't you just record more music and put it out there? And I didn't have a good answer other than because it's kind of embarrassing to do that.
More embarrassing than a weekly podcast, or where you just spill your life out?
No, because see, that's the thing. It's like I thought about it and I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Sure.
You know, like logically, I understand that it doesn't make any sense that, you know, playing music and recording it and having ideas and all that kind of stuff would be embarrassing. It makes no sense at all. If somebody else had those ideas and recorded things and posted it somewhere for free, like I'd be happy to hear it.
Right.
So it's just one of those things like where I just, you know, the biggest mistake I make in my everyday life is most of the time I don't stop and think things out logically.
Right.
I just feel a certain way about it. And it's always about myself. It doesn't seem to happen with outside elements. But when I think about bullshit with myself, the first thing that happens is like, well, why the fuck would anybody want to?
That's a good question. But the other point is like, why wouldn't somebody want to?
Correct. You're absolutely right.
People make thousands of dollars a month from videos on YouTube where they talk about their collection of toy cars. There is this man who runs this channel called Grand Illusions that talks about toys that he's collected over the past 180 or so years of his life.
Wow.
And these videos get like 200,000 views per upload.
Right.
And it's just like toys. And you'll think to yourself, oh, I had that toy. And you're like, why would you watch that? Why would anyone watch that?
Yeah, and obviously there's a huge audience for it.
Yeah, no, if Jersey Shore can succeed, so can whatever you put up there, John.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like the way you're going, Greg. So yeah, like it was one of those things where I've posted a lot of music over the, you know, probably last 2 years.
Sure.
Where I'll just record something and I'll put it to a video and I'll put it online. And I've always waited till things were like really polished and perfect and I knew they were done before I do that. In the last 2 days, I've posted 2 like ideas for songs. They're not even really songs yet, but they're just ideas.
Okay.
And I just threw them up and I'm like, I just recorded this 40 minutes ago. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. Which is funny that I look back and I apologize for things that don't need them. But I'm trying to do that in order to like, as an exercise of like, just put it out there. There's nothing to be like embarrassed or ashamed of.
Oh, sure. Unless it's my music, then it'd definitely be embarrassing.
Oh, Greg.
But no, it's if you can just get over too that whole like apologetic thing, just be like, hey, this is my content and I want you to enjoy it because I enjoyed making it. And if you don't enjoy it, the problem is with you. Like if you can really get that attitude about things, I think that'll help you a lot with getting more out there.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And a lot of the times I do have that outlook, but it's like in a negative way, like where I'll get sick of something or I'll just get sick of feeling that way. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it. You know, I'm putting it out. And if you don't like it, fuck you.
Right.
But there's really no reason to get to that point.
Well, yeah, exactly. And even then, like for me personally, the problem that if I was in your spot,
right,
I take everything people say like really literally. I am extremely critical of myself by nature. And if you have that in you, there's a few things you should probably try and work on doing to make your life a little bit easier. Like YouTube videos, don't read the comments. Just don't.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because everybody on YouTube, it's the law of the internet states explicitly in writing everywhere
Right.
that people only make accounts to comment on things for one of two reasons: to say that it's the best thing they've ever seen, or to say that it's the shittiest thing they've ever seen and you should kill yourself. Those
Correct.
Those are the only two things people online will ever post.
Right. There's nothing constructive. There's nothing, no deeper than that.
Right.
It's one shade or the other. It's black or white.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey need not apply to the internet. Really trying to stay on top of my modern references here.
That's really good. It's really topical.
Thank you.
It's really
like a cream for it.
Yeah, it's very
Topical
eat, pray, love.
cream.
It's a very eat, pray, love of you.
Delightful.
But one thing I've been trying to do, and I've over the years I've become much better at it, is I've tried to, and this is how far behind the 8 ball I really am, is I've tried to get better at just taking a compliment.
I don't think you've gotten any better at that.
Okay, perfect, because I really didn't think so either. But it's one of those things where like years ago, I would immediately write it off and be like, no, it's whatever. It's just whatever. And I would try to just stop the praise as soon as possible. And now I let it happen and I just go, thank you. And that's where I try to cut it off.
You're far past me. I have that same problem.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah.
You make me feel better about myself.
Well, you should, because you're better than me.
Aw.
Yeah. See how that escalated quickly?
This sure did. That got real.
I have coworkers that will say things that are nice to me, and I just write it off. I'm like, okay, what do you want?
How is this person? What kind of contract do you want me to sign?
Yeah, it's like, are you just saying that to make me feel better that you're more successful than I am?
What are you trying to steal from me?
Yeah, like this one guy I work with is really nice to me. I think what he means is genuine. He's just like, it's like, oh no, man. He's like, you're just selling yourself short. I'm like, hey.
You're like, you know what, man? Fuck you.
Yeah, it's
like that's where I go immediately.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's about that, huh? Yeah. Well, your girlfriend is ugly.
And he's like, what?
And then I'll get to work tomorrow. I'm like, my girlfriend's ugly, huh? I'm like, oh my god, you actually listen to your show? And they'll start bawling. I said it was good.
It was just a joke.
Your girlfriend's not ugly, man. If you're listening.
Yeah. No, she's definitely not, dude.
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't know who even is, but
if you know what John's saying, if you're picking up what he's putting down,
exactly.
And your girlfriend, shit.
But I wonder what my only question is, what does Computer Scott have to say about my situation?
Rock out with your cock out, motherfucker.
All right.
Okay.
Hold on, Computer Scott.
Okay.
You need to prep a Computer Scott list of approved phrases. I'm not going to say soundboard because it's a real person with feelings.
Right.
That could only help you moving forward.
Exactly.
So speaking of things that can help, this has been one of the lighter shows we've had in a couple of weeks.
Sure.
And in spite of probably the biggest hot button national issue we've had going on in a while, which I just really don't feel there's a whole lot to say about, that doesn't polarize everyone.
Right.
I have something much more important to talk about, and that was the dream I had last week.
Okay.
So last week we went over our holiday celebration of selfishness, Judica.
Correct.
And about a day or two after I was on the show, I fell asleep and I had what might have been the most fucked up dream I've had in recent time for me.
Tell us all about it, Greg.
Now, if there's anybody out there that's a dream doctor that can write in with some insight as to what I experienced, I would love that.
Right.
So the dream starts. I wake up. I take my Mini Cooper into town.
Fair enough.
Get to the nearest pet store. And while in the pet store, I'm just looking at, the usual stuff they sell there: 6-pack of beer, computer hardware, tongs. And the owner comes up to me and lets me know that they have a special on pit vipers, where it was buy one get 9 free.
Wow, that seems like a deal.
Yeah, so
That's a
naturally,
lot of pit vipers.
I bought 2 of them. So I bought 2 pit vipers, and I got them home and realized I had no place to put them. So I stuffed them in the bathroom, and then I had to fight them back with shovels while I waited for City Hall and the mayor to get over to my house to help me with this pit viper problem. And yeah, and I was worried that my dog got bitten by a pit viper, and I had to cut off one's head with a shovel, and they were fake. They weren't real.
Right.
But I was wondering if you might have some insight as to why I would have that dream.
Oh, wow. I think it all has to do with the buy one get 9 free. And I think that 9 free would be huge points for you this time of year.
I think so too.
Do you have a Mini Cooper?
I don't.
Okay. I don't know what that has to do with it, but I know that has something to do with it.
Apparently that's the car that Dream Greg drives.
Yeah, have you ever even thought about driving a Mini Cooper?
Not too often. I mean, I've thought about driving all sorts of vehicles.
Right.
Like in those times where it's like kind of slip off into daydream land, and I am Jason Bourne for 20 to 30 minutes in the middle of the day behind the wheel of my car.
I don't know. I mean, how many points would you get for 9 free pit vipers?
It depends on how much the first pit viper costs.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
There needs to be like a danger clause.
The dangerous.
Because like even if it's like a pit viper's $1, if you get 9 of them for free,
oh yeah,
that's a serious investment and risk you're taking.
I would have bought far more at that point.
Exactly. You would have had at least 18.
Just for the scaling.
Exactly.
So yeah, that happened.
It's a fucking weird dream, dude.
I know. And then after my Thanksgiving things last week, Judica actually kicked off on Friday morning.
Right. And you're going hardcore this year.
Oh yeah, no, the gloves were off. Like it was like the start of the Hunger Games where everybody's like on their pedestal and there's just a pile of wallets and shit in the middle. And everyone just dashed in. Like I called Brad on Thursday night trying to convince him that we needed to start opening Judica early to match the retail stores that were already selling stuff because I wanted to buy things that badly.
Right. The Brad Jaguar.
Yep.
Former guest.
The Brad Jaguar. I was driving home from Duluth. It's a 3.5 hour drive. Every time we go by, it's an exit where there was like a Target or a Best Buy. I'm like, I want to be there. But yeah, so Friday morning starts up. I open my day up pretty lightly. There's a sale on Blizzard games, so I picked up the newer StarCraft 2 expansion for like $10.
Okay.
I was pretty happy about that. And then I turned around and bought an iPad.
Did you need an iPad?
Not really. I already had another tablet. And
Perfect.
Then Becky,
really.
My girlfriend has an iPad, and then she has another tablet. We have 2 people in our house, and we now have 4 tablets.
Beautiful. And for just as a recap to Judica, this is a holiday in place of Christmas, where basically you buy yourself gifts.
Yes.
And based on market retail value and actual price paid, you earn points.
Yep. Yeah, and there's multipliers and different ways to score. And layman's way of looking at it is if you just are eyeballing it, think of 1 point is valued at $1 without modifications made to it. Last year, the winning teams finished around 3,000 points or so by the end of the season. Coming out of this weekend, we already have 2 teams over 3,000 points.
Oh my God. Already? Jesus.
Yeah.
Or should it lack of Jesus?
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. I've been in constant contact with my teammate, who I actually only speak to during this season.
Uh-huh.
I don't cross paths a lot during the rest of the year, but when this 5-week period comes up, we become the best of friends on earth.
Right. It's almost like us every week.
We are out for blood. So
well done. I like it.
Thank you.
I would love to do it. I just don't have the heart. or lack of heart.
Yeah, I saw that text from you.
I just don't have it in me. I like Christmas too much.
You can still get things for Christmas and buy things for yourself for Judica.
I know. I just don't have the money.
The thing is, if you stop buying gifts for other people, you have more money for yourself. It's only awkward the first year.
No, and what it really is too is that I just need to stop buying stuff like throughout the year, and just do
That's
it.
a lot of it.
Yeah, and just do it at the end of the year. Like you were telling me that. Did you call me yesterday or Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we talked, and like you were like, I just said like 5 times in a row. You basically said we've just been waiting on these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. Because like the whole thing I'm like, I'd love to play because I can still buy other people stupid gifts, and then, because that's what I do.
Right.
Like I don't spend a whole lot of money on people. I just buy them like what would make them laugh a lot.
Right.
Like a funny t-shirt, that kind of thing, something they never expected. And
exactly.
That's what I like about Christmas.
So what happened is every year, everybody's first year, they're terrible. They buy everybody a whole bunch of stuff, and
how dare they?
They get themselves like a DVD or two, and they're like, look how generous I'm being to myself. And if you stick around and commit for the long haul,
right?
This is our 7th year of this glorious festivity.
And 7 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, it's legitimate now. Like it's long enough where it's like, no, this is a thing that my group of friends does every single year.
I should have played. I think it was 2009 or 10 when I bought my TV.
You should have,
because it was Christmas time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's never too late to start. I mean, you could start right now.
No, you're absolutely right. And believe me, in years coming, I'm on board.
We traded one evil for another, because what's happened is once you've done this a few times, it's like many of us have,
right?
Your buying habits over the year will change and just get you ready for Judica.
Exactly. That was what I was trying to get at before too. It's like I just need to have long-term, vision.
Right.
Instead of being like, oh shit, it's November, that means Judica's starting. Oh, I've bought so much stuff and none of it counts.
It's a rookie mistake.
Right. Exactly right.
The last couple of months, my girlfriend started thinking, wow, Greg's really slowed down. I'm buying a lot of stuff. And she looks at the calendar and she's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, great self-control, Greg. Good job. And you're just like foaming.
just shaking on Amazon.com.
Looking at iPads.
It's
wait a minute, we have 3
if you don't have
tablets?
one, they're really cool. You should buy yourself one.
Dude, seriously. I was looking at buying another laptop or a new laptop.
No.
Which yes, exactly. I was just gonna say which you were very, very much against. And I was just shopping around, and those is the iMac Airs, or I don't remember what it was, but their products, man, they make them look so good.
The iPad or the MacBook?
MacBooks.
Yeah, there are. That is about the thickness of a dinner plate.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they like what makes me laugh about the website. And if you go on the website, anybody can go on. Just go to like Apple, apple.com, and just look at, basically the preview page for the iMac or the MacBook Pro. And they'll show you a picture of what the screen looks like on your screen. And it's like, look how good this looks. And it makes me laugh because it can only look as good as my fucking screen looks.
Right.
It makes me laugh because they have this little magnifying glass that like just zooms in on what the picture is on their screen.
Yeah.
But it looks like my screen.
Yeah. Oh, the iMac ad. Yeah. So that's the best. They're like, check out the glory of 5K display on your 1080p monitor.
Right. Retina display. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like my monitor.
Yeah. It's like, sorry guys, I don't want to be a dick, but it feels like I'm missing something.
Yeah. I was just looking at it, just laughing at my couch, like 8 a.m. Just going, this is fucking ridiculous.
Well, you remember
who falls for this?
Remember when DVD was first becoming a thing?
Sure do.
They'd be like, hit harder on DVD, and then have like a comparison on a VHS of DVD versus VHS.
Right, I do remember that.
And all he would do is they would like put a filter on the sound for the VHS clip, so it sounded super unbelievably bad. And
That's what
then
it was?
leave it the way it was on VHS. You'd be like, oh wow, I can really feel that.
They did the same thing with the Blu-rays too.
Of course.
They do a Blu-ray ad on a DVD. It's like, look how much better this is.
This is what explosions feel like on Blu-ray. I'm like,
It's like-
the same as the DVD explosion.
Yeah, it only can feel that good.
Make the volume louder, guys. That'll get everybody.
Yeah, exactly. More fire. We need fire.
Yes.
More fire, please.
Explosions on Blu-ray have 40% more fire.
Exactly. But yeah, I didn't end up buying any computer at all. I just bought a hard drive and a little bit of memory too.
We're gonna get you there. We're gonna pull you over.
Oh yeah, I will absolutely jump in with a new computer, and it'll most likely be a desktop.
It will be a desktop.
Yeah, it will. It probably. I can say like 90% it will be, just because it's really frustrating how you cannot get a laptop that's that much better than what I already have for, a reasonable price.
No, they know that. They know that. That's. I talk a lot of shit that's why I got out of Macs, was because the solution to any hardware problems on my Mac was to throw it in the garbage and buy another one. But
Right.
that's all laptops across the board. Like, you can't swap this piece out for this piece, and you can't replace this bit with that bit. It's done. Like, when that computer is no longer within spec, it is fucked.
Right. Yeah, because it's basically just a solid piece of circuit board.
It's one board where everything is soldered on, and that's it.
Right.
So
Yeah, luckily, I put a little bit more memory in this. I went from 6 gigs to 8. And I upgraded my hard drive from 500 gigs to a terabyte.
and not failing.
And not failing. And it's 7,200 RPMs instead of 5,400.
You should notice that. That's actually a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it is. It's quite a big jump. And it's also quite a big jump to have a hard drive that actually works right.
Yes.
It's insane. Like when you right click on a file, it doesn't take 15 seconds for the file options to come up.
You know your hard drive is baller when you go to open something and it just goes chunk, and it actually makes that chunk sound from your laptop.
That is baller ass shit right there,
Yeah,
son.
no. Then you see that smart warning detected, and you're like, oh, that's whatever.
Yeah,
It's just,
that's adorable.
yeah, that's adorable. Then you hit it to make it load faster.
Uh-huh.
I look at how I used to treat my old computers. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
It's like there was no other option.
No, that's my fan would start rattling. So as opposed to opening the case up
Right.
and checking to see if there was any wiring that was like getting hit by the fan,
Mm-hmm.
I would just smack the top of my tower until it stops.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that specific computer.
Yes.
It was hit a lot.
Yeah, it was.
Like every 20 minutes it would start making that noise.
do you know what happened to it?
No.
I hit it so hard the CPU cooler fell off and didn't notice it for like 2 weeks, and it burned itself up.
I do remember that. I do remember that very specifically. Because I remember you were happy because you're like, hey, it stopped making the noise. And it's because it fell apart.
Oh God, I am so much better at this now.
Yeah, not only did it stop making noise, it stopped working altogether.
Yeah, it's over. KO.
But one of the main reasons, to be perfectly honest, that I didn't buy a new computer or even look into buying really a new desktop is because not that it's a huge deal, because it's not, but my roommate Scott, not computer Scott, actually approached me I think it was last week. Yeah, I think it was last week. And basically let me know that him and his wife would like to move on with this house, basically.
They're breaking up with the house?
No. They'd like to sell the house, and move on their own and have me move on my own.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's all good, but it's one of those things where now I'm like, well, I should probably not spend money. You know what I mean? Probably a good time to save a little bit.
I disagree. This is actually the best time to spend money.
Go ahead.
So,
Please do.
I'm going to preface this by saying if you're looking to join a team for Judicate, my team is looking for members. You should buy out their half of the house.
Well, I would love to. Oh, that'd be I'd fucking be a boss if I could do that. but I can't. It's not a possibility.
So how do you feel about that? You've been there for years now. You moved into there shortly after I moved out to Minneapolis. So it must have been what, 6 or 7 years now?
It's been 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel good about it, to be honest.
Okay.
You know, just because I was thinking about what I was going to do, and I have a feeling that Scott feels like he's kind of fucking me over by just, dropping this in my lap. Although he's not. It's not that case at all. And he's not really dropping anything in my lap. I just think he kind of feels that way, which is because he's a good friend.
All right, and if he and his wife and you guys have lived there for a long time, if they're looking into having kids or anything like that, it's something that doesn't. It gets different when you actually have the whole like full house and living roommates and whatnot. Like,
of course, and this was the plan. So this isn't like a thing where it's like, oh, everything's changed now. I get it. No, this was the whole plan.
Right. You didn't buy it to live together forever.
Correct. We bought it so that we could sell it and get some money.
Right.
So it's, whatever. It's part of the plan. And he was like, well, I know you like the house and, is there any way you can keep it? And I'm like, no, there's just no way I can keep it. Not if I want to work one job.
Right.
Because it's just one income. It's just me. So he's like, well, that's kind of a bummer. And I'm like, well, whatever. And he's like, if you got, some money out of it, would you be able to buy another place? And I said, yeah.
Sure.
And I thought about it, and I've been thinking about it for like a good week now. And I don't think I'm gonna.
You think you go back to an apartment?
I think I'm gonna go back to an apartment.
There's there's definitely ups and downs.
Right, exactly.
Either side.
Yes.
And I don't know what the market looks like over there. In the Minneapolis area, I still believe it is well in your favor to be a renter versus an owner here.
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire, to the best of my memory, has some pretty ridiculous property tax.
Correct.
And I don't know what homes in your neck of the woods are running for. I guess that something in your neighborhood in your condition would probably be around 170 plus. But it's all up to you where you want to go. Like, would you be looking at moving to one like the Surrey, Gilsum, like Boondocks area? Or?
Yeah, if I were to buy a home by myself with the amount of money I'd get from the sale, I would have to buy in like Troy.
You don't want to buy there anymore.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I wouldn't mind buying there, but it's one of those things also where, now it's my full responsibility if something goes wrong with the house.
Right.
Also, I'd be, to be totally honest, I'd be close to my limit as far as how much I'd be able to pay.
Well, the other thing too is like, how much space do you as a person need?
That too. Like, I don't have a lot of things.
Right.
I have guitars. I have my laptop. I have my microphone, my bed, a couch, TV.
I would say even I wouldn't even go from one house right to another one right away anyways, because you'll probably want to just get a feel. Obviously, I would say, yeah, sure, that area, take a year, live in an apartment, see if you like having somebody else to call whenever everything breaks. Really trivial stuff too, being like, yeah, the light's out in the hall.
Yeah, and exactly. Just abuse my power. Like,
yeah,
hey, man,
well, can't you get on a chair and fix that? Like, I don't like chairs.
Dude, don't you understand? I did this myself for 6 years.
Yeah. It's like, I'm pretty sure your mortgage is less than I'm paying you each month. I can do the math. Come on, man. Come over here and change this light.
Fucking light bulb, dude. Come on. But what's that?
Go ahead.
All right. My worst case, I was like, man, if I go back to an apartment and I give myself the year, like you said,
right?
Like, the worst case is, if I'm not an idiot with my money, which I'm not, is that at the end of the year, I want to buy a house and I have that money.
Okay.
So that's like, it's not really a bad option. Plus, I don't really feel like I want to lock myself down.
Right.
Like, what if I want to move somewhere else?
What if?
Exactly.
And you could.
Right.
You could. If you have a house, you need to sell the house.
Correct. Right. It's just another pain in the ass. And it's like, the way the market is nowadays, I think everywhere, I might be wrong, but I know it's here. If you buy a house, it's going to be a few years before you can even make money on it.
Of course.
just because the market is kind of shit right now.
Right. And unless somebody's lost their job through unfortunate circumstances, nobody's selling a house to just let you get away with losing money. If there's people who are selling
Sure.
things, they're not selling it to you to be a nice guy. Like that's
Yeah, they want to. That's an investment.
right.
Nobody
Right.
sells a stock cheaper than it's worth.
Right.
And that's really all it is. That's all a house is.
Yeah, it's a stock that's built out of bricks and mortar and wood or vinyl in some cases.
Yeah, whatever they fill the wall with. But yeah, it's one of those things like I don't have a family, I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. Like, you know what, it'd be really nice to have some place where heat and hot water might be included for a year.
Yeah, no, that's,
You know what I'm saying?
totally.
And also the idea of selling this place and then just going to an apartment and not dealing with, the home shit, because I've done it before.
Right.
And it's, it's worth it on one end and it's not worth it on the other. And again, I kind of like the idea of not being totally locked down.
It's not that bad. I've primarily lived in apartments for a huge chunk of my life now.
Right.
It's nice. It's if you have a decent apartment. If you have a shitty apartment, this totally changes. So
Well, sure.
things that are annoying with a house that can be exponentially more annoying with apartments are your neighbors. Your neighbors will change more often, and you could learn that you could be put right above or below somebody that you will hate more than anything in your life.
Right.
They'll be really bad. But you could also have really quiet people. We also have to be more like if you're looking. Keene, I think, has a lot of the building complex type deals.
Yes.
And in those, like, noise is more of a concern. I don't think that you would ever be super loud, though. You probably play your guitar with headphones and such. So.
Oh yeah, there's ways around all that shit for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been in an apartment before with guitars, so.
If there's any one bit of advice that I can give you, moving into any apartment, just in general, always have at least one more bedroom than either people or couples in the apartment. So if it's just you, get a 2-bedroom. If it's you and a roommate, get a 3-bedroom. If it's you and a girlfriend, get a 2-bedroom. Like that type of deal. Just because it's nice to have a space that is like an office or study
studio
area,
like a studio.
Yeah, studio,
like I have right now.
Something that's removed from the usual traversing area of any guests that you'll have over. You don't need to use it for entertaining. It's just meant to be your space that's outside of like a bedroom.
Right. No, I definitely hear that. That's true. Especially like where I do like to do this podcasting and everything.
Right.
It'd be nice just to set up a room for that. Like I have it right now. Like I'm looking around at all my guitars and my amps and things on the wall. And it's kind of nice. It's cramped and it's messy and it's chaotic, but it's the Browntown Studios.
Yeah, it's your space.
Yeah.
You need it.
And all my 6-string friends.
All your 6-string friends. And the 5-stringed ones that you haven't fixed yet.
How did you know? I'm looking at a 5-string guitar right now, right in front of me.
And my memory is because 6 strings is easy mode.
Yeah. Well, hey, Keith Richards intentionally plays a 5-string guitar.
Really?
Yep.
Never knew that.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
That makes sense then.
Yeah, if you like, there's a music talk, but there's a standard way to tune a guitar, which is we just call it standard tuning, and then there's open chord tunings, which is literally if you tune them to these, like say open G, if you just punch the guitar, it'll be a G chord. And what a lot of people do that for legitimately is like blues slide players, where they put like either the brass or a glass slide on their finger,
right,
and like that old style sounding lap steel guitar. That's what that was designed for. So basically, you can use this big glass thing to make these cool sounds that will sound like chords. They won't just sound like garbage. And Keith Richards does it basically just so he can put a finger over a fret and play the entire chord.
And that man became famous doing this.
Yes, he certainly did. And almost killing himself falling out of a coconut tree.
That's how you make it. You find the laziest way of doing something, you just make it popular first.
Exactly. And you're just like, oh no, it's like Chuck Berry. And people are like, yeah, it is like Chuck Berry.
I've heard who was it? Les Claypool from Primus.
Hmm.
I remember somebody told me once that part of the reason he can play some of these like crazy bass guitar riffs that he does is there's still skill involved.
Yeah.
But I've heard that he tunes the guitars to the point where the strings are practically falling off.
Really?
To make it easier for him to manipulate them as opposed to having the stiffness of a usual bass guitar string.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
I do know he plays like I know some of his guitars are fretless bass.
Really?
Yeah, which is, I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, because then you know exactly where to. Shit.
Yeah, the frets are really kind of like in a lot of ways cheating.
Right.
Just because like you can really, with a fret, you have a good inch where you can be plus or minus on that board and you'll make the right noise because the fret's doing the work for you. Whereas fretless, that's a rough gig.
That's exacting.
It's one of those things where you can be a great bass player and sound like a fucking terrible bass player if you're not perfect.
Well, right, because that takes the margin of error out of the equation.
It certainly does, because I actually bought a violin probably a year and a half ago because I'm like, I'm going to learn violin. And it's basically the world's smallest fretless bass.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Oh, and it's so impossible. I'll play that motherfucker someday, but like I really haven't put the time in it either. I've been, guilt ridden with how lazy I've been with it, but it is incredibly hard.
You pretty much stroll into your office, you look at your guitar, you're like, "Sup, friends? How's it going, keyboard? Long time no see, harmonica." And then you see the case for the violin, and you're just like, "Go fuck yourself."
I'm like, well, I guess you're staying in there.
You live in that box.
It's so crazy because I don't understand how anybody with a full-grown man's hands plays a fucking violin.
It's a good question.
Because it's so small.
It's like it's the size of your forearm, pretty much, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, and like the strings are really close together, and it's just fucking impossible.
Yeah, I couldn't even start.
I'm not even convinced that anybody's ever played violin. It's just a fucking huge lie to get me to buy one and just do this.
There's one guy on a throne of cash. Be like, "We got him."
Yeah, there's somebody right now listening to this podcast live going, "We fucking win."
And you see like those videos of that Lindsey Sterling girl dancing around playing violin like it's nothing. You're like, that girl's a fraud.
Yeah, it's totally fucking bullshit. Bullshit. Right now, there's like a room like fucking like NASA. They're all just hugging and dancing because they finally got me. They're like, it's fucking, we won.
All right, guys, what did we do this week? Did we land a lander on a comet, or we sold the violin? Both. Oh shit.
It's taken a year and a half. We got him.
Jackpot.
We got that son of a bitch.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's something I have a lot of guilt about that I haven't really given this whole violin thing a try, but I'm guessing it's going to be another 5 to 7 years before I'm really even like able to play basic stuff on it.
You'll get there. I've been stuck at the same point of my piano learning for years. I can play the first like 6 measures of Michelle Branch's Everywhere, and then I just freeze in terror looking at the next line.
Really?
That's it. I don't know what it is. Like,
you can read. Can you read music?
Kinda. I can read the treble clef just fine. Bass clef, I just need to remember to transpose it 2 down, I think it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's 2 down for bass clef, but yeah, I understand what the notes mean, or like what the time signatures mean and all that stuff, or how to identify the length of a beat.
Right.
But something I lost over the years was the ability to like count that out effectively, either through tapping or whatnot. It's become a much lazier sense where if I haven't heard it, I probably won't play it anywhere near what it's supposed to be like right now.
Oh yeah, I was always blown away by people who can put a piece of music down in front of them and not knowing what it sounded like and actually play it.
Yeah,
like it doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all.
I could do that with the saxophone a few years ago. Probably not anymore now. It's
like Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought the saxophone was like the coolest instrument, and then I discovered
pussy.
Yeah. That.
That changed everything. Fuck the saxophone.
Sam Adams, Natty Ice,
Oh, okay. Well,
all the real winners from Troy, New Hampshire.
oh
But yeah, so I could do it with a saxophone, but I can't. I think you need to be very, very comfortable with whatever instrument you're playing to even consider doing that.
Yeah. Like I can look at tablature for guitar and get a basic sense, but even then it's tough because a lot of tablature doesn't come with time, like with notes as far as like length and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But as far as reading music itself, I learned it a little bit when I was arranging music for high school because you had to transpose it for them to that.
Right.
But that was the beauty of the computer too, was I had a program that I could punch in those notes into. And I did learn it for a little while, but as soon as I stopped doing arranging and transcribing in that capacity, I completely forgot it.
Well, there's no other place where you're going to use that skill. Like that's
true.
It's not like even if you learn like really remedial Spanish, you'll be driving down the road and it'll be like, no hablan burrito and bibliotech. And you're like, oh man, they don't let you take burritos into that library.
Exactly. I'm never gonna be in an interview with my boss, and he's like, yeah, we're really like you for this promotion, but could you what chord is this?
Right.
And I'm like, fuck.
Right.
And they're like, you can't read that? I'm like, no. And then he's like, okay, that's great. Thanks for coming in.
The filthy thing with how your brain works is that unless it deems something as being important to your survival, it doesn't really prioritize it for memory.
Right.
Which makes me really curious is how I still remember the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 debug code, which was 1,000,000 steps long.
Okay.
Any of you nerds out there sitting in front of a Sega Genesis while listening to this show, it's go into the sound test by holding it up and pressing start at the main screen and do 1965 917. Restart, hold A and press start again. Oh, that's not even a good one. That's just a level select. Go to the next sound test, and it's 1992 1124 4126 4126. Select your level while holding A and pressing start, and then you can get both debug mode and Gold Sonic.
What the fuck?
I know.
Jesus. Well, I guess at a certain point that was integral to your survival.
I needed to remember that code in order to progress whenever we went to Toys R Us or Toy Works to play.
That is true.
Video games.
Remember that? Remember when you said those stations?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you always kick the other kids off because you felt it was your right to play.
Oh my! I just when you just said that, when you said we used to go to Toys R Us to play that, I just had I pictured those fucking. Oh, it was like the controllers came out in those really strange. It was like an arm that stuck out of the monitor.
Yes.
And I remember the joy I felt. Just pure fucking joy. Because I'd never seen anything like Sonic the Hedgehog before in my life.
Oh no. No, when you've got your Nintendo at home and there's these things in the stores, you feel like you're playing games from the goddamn future.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. And for a while too, we're kind of forgetting this now because it's one of those things too. It's funny that when it went from, we'll say, the big jump really was PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
Because it was even though it looks so shitty today, at the time it was holy shit, these things actually look like people.
Right.
Kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Very blocky people with no joints.
I got a PlayStation for Christmas at launch. And I remember when we were in the store, what were some of the big Super Nintendo games? It was like Lion King or Shaq Fu or this other stuff.
Shaq Fu, yeah.
Yeah. At this now defunct department store called Leechmere, and they'd have a wall of consoles, but there was two of them off to the side. There was the Sony PlayStation and a demo unit. And I remember playing Ridge Racer in that with my brother for the whole time my parents were Christmas shopping. We played that game for 2 hours straight, rotating in and out with other people. And it was unbelievable what that looked like. And I was like, this is a console that you can bring to your house.
Right.
This is not an arcade. Are you serious?
Exactly.
And then your friends are all still on their their Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and they're playing like the worst ports of Street Fighter ever, and you're like, well, I'm gonna go home and play Tekken 3.
Exactly. And then like the next jump from that I remember was Dreamcast.
Oh God, yeah.
Like a huge jump. And I remember the first games I looked at in a magazine with the Dreamcast was Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were looking in those magazines. This was right after I think Resident Evil 3 came out.
Yeah.
And we're looking at this magazine at Resident Evil Code Veronica just going, you gotta be kidding me.
The in-game graphics look better than the cutscenes.
Yeah, this can't be real. Like, I remember we were looking at this, like, this is gotta be a fucking joke.
It was huge like that. And what was the other ones? Like Dead or Alive 2, like going from playing Tekken to DOA 2, where you're throwing people through walls and like kicking them through roofs of buildings as you jump down these huge multi-tiered levels. It was just totally unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Yeah, it was truly like we all thought to each other, how it cannot get any real, closer to real life than just putting people on a screen.
Right.
We actually,
Right.
I remember saying that, like, we just thought, like, okay, there's no other, this is the ceiling.
Yeah, no, Soul Calibur 1 is like, all right, guys, we peaked. This is it.
Yeah, Soul Calibur. That was the only fighting game I ever liked.
That's the best fighting game.
It's fantastic.
Soul Calibur 1, oh my God, I played the shit out of that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. I remember I have the soundtrack somewhere.
Everyone should.
On CD. I have it on CD somewhere.
That one was a classic. And then then the PlayStation 2 came out, which actually for a long, long time the games looked worse than the Dreamcast.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that today, I think, or it was very recently, how I can look at like a graphic scene like in a video game or something like that, and I'll just go, yeah, it looks fucking great. And then I'll see like say it was 720p, and then I'll see the 1080p and go, oh shit, I didn't realize how much better it could have been. And I remember playing Code Veronica on PlayStation 2, and you were almost offended because of you're like, look at the jagged lines on this fucking piece of shit. And I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And you're just like, the Dreamcast vision is so much fucking better. What's with this fucking loading screen, man?
Didn't you have my Dreamcast for a year because I let you borrow it so you could see how much better it was?
Oh, I don't think I did.
Oh, there was somebody that got that.
I think Brad might have borrowed it.
Maybe.
For a while. Because I remember playing Code Veronica on that and having like the Dreamcast had the little screen on the controller.
Mm-hmm. So you look down and see your life.
Right. It was status screen.
Yeah, now I've got a whole extra monitor for that shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah. See, and we all thought like, oh, it can't get any better. This is the ceiling.
No,
nope.
Yeah, now it's gotten so bad where like I can't game on a system that doesn't have two 1080p displays.
No, I mean, who could really?
Yeah, at least one for the game itself, then another one to bring up all the rest of the shit that I look at while I'm playing it.
It's hilarious to me. My boss at work has two screens on his computer.
Amateur.
Yeah, you know why? I don't
Reddit.
I don't know, because he certainly doesn't need it.
I've got 3 at work, 3 at home. I now oh my God, I reached the apex of nerdiness at work yesterday.
Oh.
So yesterday I had to go in for a monitoring shift where we keep an eye on servers to see what's going down, if anything's breaking.
Hence the Smonday podcast today.
Monday podcast. It's from 3 in the afternoon to 11 at night. It's a horrible shift. It's boring as shit. Nothing ever goes on, but I have to be on site.
Right.
So I picked up a copy of Final Fantasy XIV, my current MMO crack of choice, for the PlayStation 3, and I figured I'll just drag my PS3 into work, and I'll throw us into one of the monitors, because I can probably get by working with 2.
Yes.
Now I can do my work with only 2 monitors here. And
I'm so sorry, Greg. If there's anything I can do, just let me know.
Oh well, no. My job requires a lot of legitimate space. My job would be impossible on a single screen.
All right,
you bastard. So, but what happened is this over the course of the night, this is how it generated. So it started with the PS3 had to do a system update to get the game up to the current version, which took an hour and a half or whatever.
Right.
So that's running in the background. Like I have the monitor input switch to work. I'm just doing work across all three of them. Then it comes up and I just turn that one monitor on, the rest of my windows off of it, and switch it over to the PlayStation. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm running around doing some fishing. I'm like, well, not got a lot going on here. So the second monitor, I opened up Skype so I could chat through that.
Right.
And a website called Cat Became Hungry that tracks the fish migrations in game, so I can see where the rare fish are currently, so I can chase them around the planet to catch them.
Okay.
So now I'm down to one monitor for work.
Oh.
And in that monitor, I loaded up Reddit on half of the screen, and I pretty much squished down anything I need to watch into maybe 1/3 of one of my 3 monitors for work.
Right.
And didn't really do a whole lot with it because nothing really went down. And then I was like, well, I can't give up that, but I want to do some more stuff. So I took out my iPad, I loaded that up, and I was watching Skyfall on my iPad while I had 2 screens dedicated to gaming, the rest of them to Reddit, and then like a sliver of it for work.
Jesus Christ. It just seems, I'm so exhausted listening to that.
It was media overload.
Holy shit.
And I told Brad what I was doing. He's like, wow. He's like, that sounds pretty intense. And I'm like, this is the bare, like, minimum amount of things to keep me focused on anything at a time now.
You know, I hear you. I really do, because I don't remember I think I was doing the best of November podcast. I was cutting up old podcasts.
Sure.
And it just takes a lot of time. And it's nothing hard. It just takes time. And I just could not bring myself to sit down and do the work unless I had something playing music beside me while I was previewing clips.
You want to know a good life hack for that one?
Sure.
Picked this up from the Reddits a few weeks back, and I think it's valid. When you're
For one of the first times.
one of the first times.
Reddit expert taught you this?
Yep.
All right.
This one was from actual advice Mallard as opposed to malicious advice Mallard. So what this one is when you're doing something that you don't really want to do that's repetitive or boring, listen to video game music as opposed to something else, because video game music by design is made to keep you engaged in what you're working on or what you would be playing at that time.
Wow,
So,
really?
Yeah. So like,
so
the
would
music
like
is supposed to like get you going and keep you focused and on task.
Would and you're not, maybe you don't know the answer, but would like movie soundtrack stuff do the same, you think?
I would assume it'd be a similar thing,
Because I do listen to a lot of soundtrack music.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, what's better, doing your taxes or doing your taxes while listening to the soundtrack to The Dark Knight?
Dark Knight.
And then you're like, oh man, I am gonna get the deduction.
You want to hear something cool?
What's that, computer Scott?
Nemesis theme, man.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't know if I want to do my taxes listening to that.
Maybe not so much. We can do this one. Oh boy.
That one's, oh, what is that from? That's from
Evil-
Veronica, right?
Resident Evil 2.
Oh, that's Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
And I'm not up to date on my Resident Evil.
We'll do some Code Veronica right here.
Wait, is that the police station?
Yes. This is Code Veronica.
Ah,
What great theme music this fucking series had.
I know.
Seriously.
I gotta find an ISO for CV and play through that again. It's been a long time.
Oh, that's a great game.
What kills me is you could run that game on a mobile phone now.
Oh, that is fucking. I didn't even think of that.
It's true. Choo Choo Rocket's out on iPad, for fuck's sake.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Jesus Christ.
It's amazing.
What has happened?
The world's gotten better.
We're
John.
so
Now I can-
old.
and now I can put Choo Choo Rocket in a bag and carry it with me to my
How
job.
about Mr. Mosquito?
Listen to this shit. Ready for this?
All right.
Resident Evil 4 iPad edition.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
And that was on the GameCube.
Yeah.
And the GameCube, really, as far as like non-HD systems was pretty fucking good.
This one's probably better.
Oh, I would imagine so.
It looks graphically, it looks better. Let's see what else your guys have up there. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Oh god.
Is this for the iPad?
Yeah.
Wow.
Monster Hunter Freedom for the iPad. What?
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh my god, this is gonna ruin my life. Hold on, Rebecca.
Judica.
Yeah.
Did you know that Monster Hunter was on the iPad?
No.
It is.
Oh.
That was a great reaction. Oh.
Oh, I feel so bad for her. She's like, "How was your day at work?" I'm like, "I caught a fish.
That was yours.
Look at the fish I caught." My character's in a bathing suit.
All right. With this, I think we've broken the podcast. But it's been a stellar show, young man.
Oh, thank you, sir. I feel it's all you.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
Yeah, take that compliment.
I am. I'm taking it right now because actually I was kind of nervous about today's show just because I didn't feel like I had anything to talk about.
I didn't feel like I had anything to talk about either. It's amazing that we once again escaped.
I do like the fact that we're just going to go into this thinking this every time.
When we need to do extensive show prep, when we've hit a new low.
I 100% agree with that.
We didn't even have to use the is it or is it this week. So
Holy
we'll say don't
shit!
think.
Right.
I know.
Oh, excellent. We have
I know.
the addition of Computer Scott,
We have the addition of computer Scott.
which is brilliant. So
This
happy I
was-
did that.
This one was going to be a pretty good one too. That's too bad. We'll file this one away for a later date.
Mm-hmm.
It was in honor of the dream. It was, is it a snake or a dessert?
Oh, I can't wait to play that next week. I cannot wait.
All right, sir.
All right then. Okay, say goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye, everyone. And
Yeah.
remember, send your feedback to Greg at thejohnbrownshow.com.
Absolutely. And
Or
John at thejohnbrownshow.com. Let's see if we
by
can get
motherfuckers.
Okay. Okay, Computer Scott. You want to say that again? But what do you want to say that again, buddy?
By motherfuckers.
Bye.
is it my motherfuckers?
I said bye, motherfuckers.
Oh, bye, motherfuckers.